McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Hello, Friday. Welcome back, everybody, to Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Post-round one draft recap. And look, we're getting all into it. Yes, I'm a man of my word. I have my Iowa Hawkeyes Verbo Citrus Bowl t-shirt on.
Beautiful.
Of course they were in the Citrus Bowl.
Great rental properties.
And of course it was sponsored by Verbo.
Verbo Citrus Bowl.
Of course. That's on brand. Guys, tens of thousands of you watched the draft show last night at Fifth Avenue, brought to you by Circus Sports. First off, I wanted to say thank you to everybody, hundreds of you that came out in person, the tens of thousands of you that watched. Thank you for that. I was blown away. Yeah, I mean, give it up, man. I was blown away. Thank you for your support of Woodward Sports and what we're doing here. Just to give that a frame of reference, I had some people that were working at Ford Field at their draft party. Said there was about 5,000 to 6,000 people there. Mm-hmm. Because 40,000 plus were watching us.
Hell yeah.
So, that's it. That's all. So just wanted to get that. And again, everybody that came out, thank you.
Yeah, what a great time.
Yeah.
Thanks to Circa, obviously sponsoring the stuff like that. Fifth Avenue and Royal Oak. Everybody that came out, saw some familiar faces, saw some new faces, put some names to everybody else. El Gato, if you're out there, good to see you last night, brother. And great talking to everybody. And you know what the best part, Neal? And obviously we're going to talk about it, and everybody either upset, not upset, did it go the way it wanted, we'll fit it in, but we were all together. That's the whole thing. Everybody was together, talking it out. I thoroughly enjoyed having and there, it's fun. I made you proud, Papa, last night during the breaks a couple times by having conversations and with I think I was talking to a dude named King, and he was salary cap, right? Talking draft cap, and when we traded back and stuff like this, and I think I went up to you and mentioned the fact that could it be a running back here or receivers? Does the money work out? And you were like, yeah, the money works out. So with everything that's gone on, we're going to take a deep dive into what went down. I think that, are you a little bit, has the smoke settled? Has things settled for you?
All right, so I got into the gym this morning, not a ton of sleep last night, same as everybody else, but I got in there because I needed the time. I needed the time to recalibrate. I know a lot of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread were saying a lot of things, questioning my sobriety and things like that. I was fine. We just had a couple to be social, and that was it. And we're going to get into all of it. We're going to break it down. I'm going to drill down. Yes, that picture is worth 1,000,000 words. Props to the Herman Moore jersey in the background, by the way. That picture is worth 1,000,000 words. We're going to drill down to it because through the clearance that I found this morning running on the treadmill at Planet Fitness, once that fog lifted, I think I have some answers. I'm going to talk through it with all of you. I'm going to talk through it with my friends here. And I'm surprised battle lines were drawn last night. Through it all. Like, we were together. Battle lines were drawn. And I'm going to tell you in a second how much the battle lines were drawn. Friend against friend, foe against friend. It turned everybody on each other. Here's my one takeaway through all this. You were either all in or you were all TF out. There was no middle ground.
It really separates. And I guess, my sort of perspective or the way that I look at it, if I'm in, I'm all in, right? So I'm all in on Holmes. And I see the people in the comment thread, limp, not stoked. No, you got to be even more stoked and not scared than now. I don't care. We're going to get to it. But the fact is now it's cooking. I made the analogy about Brad Holmes being the grill master. Well, none of you's ever eaten emu or maybe Tasmanian devil, but he's cooking it up for you, right? And you're going to eat it. My big thing as it plays out is that, yes, I'm sitting here even as stoked as anybody about trusting Brad Holmes and being a simp, But I have questions too, but I got to let them play out. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning.
Okay, and that's fine, and we'll talk through it. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Tony says, please have Woodward Sports pull up Jack Campbell's RAS score. And you know what? We can stop with the RAS scores and all that kind of stuff. C.J. Stroud got like a 4 on their little aptitude test. What was he? The number 2 pick in the... Stop with... Okay, we'll do that. We'll pull the RAS score, and then I'll pull up the 4.6940 or whatever that number is.
His RAS score is like graded out everything to be elite.
Yes.
Well, it
you know what wasn't elite? The 40.
Comparable
We'll get into it.
Kuechly.
We'll get into it. But I talked about battle lines being drawn last night. We saw it in Royal Oak, and our very own Spencer Raxter, who is a gentleman of the evening, we'll say it like that. He enjoys his nightlife, and guess what? He gets out
likes
there.
to party.
Yeah, and that's fine. He's here. He's here doing the job. Go do whatever it is you do, man. He's here to do the job. That's fine. But we talked about battle lines being drawn. Spencer Raxter, easy, quite literally, had the battle lines in the streets of Royal Oak. Blood was spilled last night, Spencer Raxter?
Blood was spilled last night.
Take us through.
All right, so it was me, Easy, Lucas, Justin, and Anson, and we went to get pizza after we left the bar. And we're sitting in there waiting for our pizza, and 2 kids start fighting outside of this pizza place. And we're like, all right, let's go watch. And we go out there to see these 2 kids fight. And then Anson starts yelling at one of them, or a different person. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? We're not about to just fight these random kids for no reason. I grab him and I move him over. And I turn around, and Easy's in the street with these 2 kids going at it. And I was like, fuck. And so I ran over there, boom, hit one of them. The other kid, Easy's on the ground. The other kid's standing over him, about to hit him. I hit him, tried to box him out from Easy. He hit me in the face a couple times, and I just turned around and looked at him. And then he walked. They both walked away. I got Easy up and we walked away. I was like, you're not about to get arrested or have the cops come here for just nothing.
You got nothing.
No reason, no idea who these kids are. Nobody said anything to them.
No even build up to it or
no
anything.
Build
it
up
just
to
happened.
it at all.
That's how high emotions were after the first round of the NFL draft.
There you go. Clean up Easy's mess again, Spenny.
Yeah,
Boy.
allegedly.
Allegedly. Yep.
Yes, all allegedly.
All of it is alleged.
Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show you what a kick off the night at the end of your night, but you're here today. Everything's copacetic. How are you right now?
Oh,
I was looking. No. As far as how are you? As far as last night, I looked at you and I'd never seen Spenmo sort of deer in the headlights. But you were like, Spenny, what's going on? I don't know what to think. Do you have any thoughts right now? Have you calmed down? Are you back in, or are you still a little bit?
I can see the value of a guy. I was cool with Jahmyr Gibbs, even though it was a reach. It's all right, you got different, but then he double reached twice. I'm gonna believe in Brad Holmes. I'm gonna trust in Brad Holmes. I'm gonna wait to see it on the field. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
So let's get into it real quickly. I want to know. I want to know from our audience, yes or no. Last night, yes or no. I want to know, man, because again, battle lines and emotions were running so high that you had Ryan Ermanni stand up on a stage and tell everybody, this was the pick. I don't care if you don't. I mean, he went full on heel, like a wrestling heel, and it was awesome.
Well, he talked to Stone Cold earlier in the week, so I mean, that could have had something to do with it. But no, and isn't that when you think back at it, take the 30,000 foot view with everybody that was there, but the rawness, but it even goes because we care because we have a real team now, right? Maybe not yet there as far as the organization with some of the people that they passed on, but I think that as we break this down, it's almost like the guys that you didn't choose, you were making a stand that they weren't part of what you have moving forward as far as not just culture, but how you're putting the team together. I'm all in. I'm more intrigued, right? Because I've seen this, and I saw Sam Flannel tweet something like this, and I've noticed comments about it, about if this doesn't work, it feels like the smartest guy in the room sort of thing, right? But I gotta give Brad Holmes the benefit of the doubt and to let it play out. Yes, the biggest spotlight, would we say, out of the Brad Holmes so far, tenure of spotlight to watch is going to be Jack Campbell, right? Success or failure, usually on. Isn't there usually a player that's tied into a GM or something like this that they drafted?
Like a Jelani Tavai or something like that, right?
See, and you guys see, and that's what I hear automatically. The PTSD makes you go negative.
Yeah,
to things
100%.
in the past that have nothing to do with these guys. That's all I'm saying. If you're willing to say that this regime had nothing. Now, there's a bigger question in there, Neal, that we will get to later on as far as, and I think it's the elephant in the room, but in the past, the mantra from the ownership would have been don't draft guys. I don't think it was that way this way. I think this is all Brad Holmes, no matter who he took. You know, you mentioned the excitement after they picked Gibbs at 12 to get the guy that they wanted. So it's one of these things that, yeah, it's not the norm, and we have the history of other guys who have failed here. So I think that Brad Holmes knew this. I'm just interested, as always, what contingency plan did they have to go to? Because obviously this wasn't plan A, right? Or was it?
Right. And look, I have some questions, and we're going to get into all those. And I heard this take last night from somebody, and I forget who it was, so I would like to give them credit. This is not my original take, however, it is true. Because there seems to be two camps here. And for me, there's three separate incidents that happened last night. Number one was not taking Jalen Carter. That was number one. When we get back from the break, I'm gonna go right back into it and give you my thoughts on it. And I'm gonna ask for the floor for 2 minutes on this. And I think it's thought out, and I'm curious to see what the people think of it. Number two was the trade, right? So you pass on Carter. That's one. Number two was the trade to get Gibbs. And look, in a vacuum, D-Mac, I got to be consistent, right? I love draft picks. I love them. I love having them. And you're able to negotiate pick number 34 in the second round. I like it. If Gibbs was your guy, your pound on the table, which he literally pounded on the table, if that's your guy and you're compensated to take him, right? If that's your guy that you'll pound the table for, and you're getting compensated to take him in a vacuum, okay.
And when you take them, it's at a reduced cost to
Absolutely.
the position, so it fits in check mark to your salary cap and your money.
$3 million cap hit this year. You know, like that's I'm okay with that. I am. I know some people aren't. Hey, that's fine. You guys know where I'm going to go with this, man. I put it out there. I said, if they take someone from Iowa in the first round of the draft, I'll wear an Iowa football shirt tomorrow. The Verbo Citrus Bowl Iowa Hawkeyes shirt.
Why and I know you have that. Oh, didn't your friend buy it for you? Yeah.
So a buddy of mine from Iowa sent that to me. So and save the, what's the name of that test we're talking? The RAS test or whatever.
Yeah.
All that stuff,
Raw
man.
athletic score. I got it if you want to see it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see it. I didn't even know this existed until last night, until it fit someone's narrative.
Yeah, it's raw athletic score. It takes all of his measurables, all of his speed scores, and puts them in, I don't know how they grade what it is, but they're all elite. Everything was elite except for his 40-yard dash.
Okay. And as Braylon Edwards said, that's north and south. What is he east and west?
His 20-yard split was elite. His shuttle was
and that's
elite.
Fine.
His 3-cone was elite. So that'll be good for east and west.
We're going to get into it.
You know what's great is our very own Lions reporter, Gabby Phillips, will be talking to Kurt Ferentz, coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes, and doing an interview to see maybe she'll find out some things that we don't know that it makes sense.
I didn't text her the question, but my question would be, and Gabby, don't ask this question.
Mine was serious, Gabby. Neal's being a dick. Go ahead.
Am I?
What was your question?
Hold on. You're Coach Ferentz, Neal Ruhl, Woodward Sports. Hey, that automatic raise that you had negotiated in your contract.
But we're talking about Jack
for every
Campbell,
season,
not Kurt
right?
Ferentz.
But just to give everyone a baseline, that automatic raise that you had negotiated in your contract for winning 6 wins, the way you were able to negotiate non-Division I wins as counting towards that, How are you able to pull that off without a ski mask and a gun?
No. So what you want to know is, before you answer that, can I have your agent's number, please?
Yeah.
That's
well, that was gonna be my
That's
follow-up.
all you want.
That's gonna be
is
my
how
follow-up.
to get the bag. Right? One of the greatest bag men around.
Sure. I mean, how did you do that without a handkerchief over your nose and mouth?
I'll be interested to see what he has to say.
That's
Obviously,
impressive.
he's the coach, but maybe there's some insight into putting the things together. Do you respect Kurt Ferentz as a head coach? Forget the money or whatever like that, or no?
I mean,
Just
what,
'cause Iowa does Iowa?
Iowa. The phrase "Iowa's gonna Iowa" it comes from a basis of reality. Tell me the big win, Sam Flannel. You're a Big Ten guy. Tell me all the Iowa big wins ever.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Not one. So that's it. But anyway, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna tackle these one by one. Like I said, when we come back, we're gonna do the Jalen Carter one first. Just like today, you should do Strawberry Fest at Big Boy because it's back. You big breakfast person, get in there with the strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Not a breakfast person? That's fine. Strawberry bacon chicken wrap or the refreshing summer splash salad. And don't forget dessert, including their very delicious strawberry pie. Things are falling apart around here, right around me. But Strawberry Fest is holding strong, as it always does, because it's anchored by deep-fried vanilla Oreos and the strawberry pie. Oh, and jump in, too, the strawberry hot fudge cake. All that and more. It's Strawberry Fest. Get to your local Big Boy today.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. We find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, Spencer Raxter's person. After a night rumbling in the streets, he likes to unwind in a tanning bed with the Swedish Beauty Lotion.
Oh, yeah.
Go to ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Find out which one of the 27 Metro Detroit locations work best for you. Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans, all for you at Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers, Tan.
All right, back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're talking NFL draft. That picture says 1,000 words, as we like to say.
Shout out to Mike G.
Shout out to Mike G. And that was nothing compared to Braylon Edwards. We'll get to the Braylon Edwards one a little bit later on in the show. You think I'm harsh on it? Talk to Braylon Edwards. Tap into Ermanni and Edwards today from 2 to 4 and see what they have to say. All right, here's the deal. I said there were 3 separate incidents last night. Number 1, they passed on Jalen Carter. Number 2, they traded back to take Gibbs. And number 3, they took Jack Campbell. Those are the 3 incidents that happened. I want to tackle them one by one, D-Mac. Number 1, my thoughts on passing on Jalen Carter is this. I know that Terry Foster sat in the chair and told me to prepare for this. Terry Foster had it all. They obviously they were very big. They were big on Will Anderson. Didn't get that opportunity. They were much out on Jalen Carter, which we saw. They passed on him. I know that teams passed. I know there were a couple teams that passed on him. That's not the concern for me. It's not about the teams that passed on Jalen Carter. It's the team that took him. The Philadelphia Eagles, who had the lead for a lot of the Super Bowl, let a Super Bowl slip through their fingers this year, who just gave their quarterback $250 million. those Philadelphia Eagles that are knocking on the door of winning a Super Bowl with a GM whose ass is on the line to get over that hump and do it, they took them. And they didn't hesitate for a second. The Eagles are the team. That's what we want, right? The Eagles have what we want.
Yeah, but we're not there yet.
But D-Mac, they have what we want. And they have much more on the line right now because they're there knocking on the door. And look, they didn't hesitate for a second. It's not about the teams that passed on them, to me. It's the team that took them. And what I can't get out of my head about it, here's what I can't get out of my head about it, is were there people in the room that wanted them, but the top didn't want them? And that's a fair thought to have. I don't care what you guys say. That's fair. That's a fair question to ask.
I don't think it's fair to this regime because that's old behavior to the last one, and it's not fair to Sheila. Because we know that's how Martha and the old man operated, but that's not fair because this is Brad Holmes. Now, what it showed me two things. That if Anderson would have dropped, we would have took him. I think they were in on Witherspoon, and the fact that they traded back to get the guy, the reaction, we'll talk about that trade, but the fact that you passed, you're not in the... I know, Neal, don't get all caught up to what Vegas and you're supposed to do this and you have this win. You're not the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
So we are scared then. We are scared and not stoked then. Like, that's the question.
We're stoked to being our team. Do you know why Jalen Carter works in Philly? Did you also see they have Nolan Smith and freaking the whole championship Georgia defense insulated by his guys, which also helps putting him around? So it was... I think it played out to Philly's favor more. You didn't have the luxury to put somebody in your locker room that might have been the talent, but in the past it didn't work out because he wasn't their guy culturally. That they showed you. They passed on him, Wilson, and Canty when they had the chances to pick them because they're not Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell guys. I don't care who takes them, right? And you mentioned Philly's still trying to get over the edge, so they're trying to do that. Insulated. Fuck Jalen Carter. Fuck anybody who's not a fucking Detroit Lion that Brad Holmes doesn't want. And, but you explain it I'm not worried about what I'm going to worry about what everybody else does. Maybe that's the problem. How about we just worry about what we're doing? And if you are skeptical to what they chose, not to what everything else is doing. And I think that, no, your PTSD can bring it up, but then you have to say, but Sheila doesn't mean you can't ask the question. Gabby asked the question, Brad Holmes, was there any influence from the ownership, and get laughed at? I don't think that. I think there's men running this shit in there with a lady who fucking loves this team and loves this game and allowing them to do the job to their best ability. That's what it is. I don't give a shit. Jalen Carter wasn't my guy. I don't care if he went 6th, 7th, 27th, 57th. Anybody else that's not a Detroit Lion. That's all that matters. Because I'm stoked, and I trust in Brad Holmes, and I'm a Holmes simp, and I'm all in. So I will not waver. You guys can all waver and do what you want. I'm going to put the Holmes almost in the Iserman category, but he still has to prove because now I got to see these guys that he's picking and why. But until then, all the rest of that bullshit, why don't we wait till the end of the weekend when Brad Holmes, when he cooks the whole meal, because that's where the draft is, and we balance it out and see. It doesn't change the fact that when we talk about number 18, that's his prized possession spotlight. Everybody's going to go back to him, to your Jelani to buy. Right?
And we're going to get there.
That's fine.
We are going to get there.
But what I'm saying is that mentality of, it's a Philly. Yeah, when you get there to challenge them and play them, you hope you have the team to beat them. Jalen Carter, I'm sorry, wasn't going to be part of the freaking solution here. Brad Holmes told you that. None of those defensive guys.
Well, D-Mac, and when you say we're concerned about what the Detroit Lions are doing, I was told that what the Detroit Lions are doing is be the betting favorite to win the division. We expect it, right? Yeah. We all expect it in this room. Okay?
So you can't sit here and say the moves that they made to fix their team for the betting favorite is bad because you haven't seen them play yet.
If the Super Bowl contending Philadelphia Eagles do not have a problem with it, if they march up to the podium and do it,
because they can put it there freaking at 10 with everybody he's insulated with.
I was told this is the waters we're in, man.
In Philadelphia,
this is where we're at.
No, in Philadelphia, no, you got to build it your same. You're not building Philadelphia's team. You don't have Jalen Hurts as your quarterback. You don't have the different defensive guys that they have, right? You built on the bottom line is he wasn't a fucking Detroit Lion because Brad Holmes said so. Let it go. Who gives a fuck where he went?
And this is part of it, right? This is the first brick that fell during draft night. That was my thing with it. And look, I was a Jalen Carter guy. You were a Jalen Carter guy.
Yes, but I was also with the caveat as I trust Brad Holmes and whatever he does. I was, but Brad Holmes isn't, so I'm not. I'm a fucking fan, bro. I'm a fan who trusts the process to the GM of building the team because I see that there's competency there now. So I have to trust them. I don't have to like it.
And that's fair, D-Mac, because
you just
I'm
got
on the
smacked
same
by
way.
the step parent. You know what? It hurt me more than it hurt you. You got it? That's what happened to us yesterday.
You and Brad Holmes were the cool dads.
We were the cool dads. You just got fucking slapped.
And you spanked me.
Right, for acting like an idiot. You know what? And it hurt me more than it hurt you. That's where we're at.
No, but D-Mac,
if you're swimming in the bigger waters, then you worry about building your team, not what the other team's doing. And so the thing is, Brad Holmes, hey, Dan, do you know that if we pass on Jalen Carter, somebody else might take him?
Jose Vasquez says that's some tough love right there. And look, everybody can be all worked up and stuff like that. The years of this, right? And that's okay. Like the PTSD thing, it did come back. When they did not take Jalen Carter, it came back. I got Randy Moss vibes from it.
Yeah, all these
I did.
Yes.
And that's fair.
And I'm not saying don't feel what you feel, but then process it to the fact of what the reality is it's these guys aren't. Do we just sit up here and talk every freaking day about are we trusting him or not? And it's just like smoke and mirrors, or that it's different, but everybody doesn't believe it's different and they want to treat him like the old. He's earned this until he hasn't. It's the same way I say about Steve Eisman doesn't make the playoffs next year. I'm the first one down his throat. Brad Holmes, these guys end up bust, or they don't help us get to the promised land and win the North and do all the stuff we're supposed to do. Then I'll get on his ass too. But now's not the time.
And here Mark M says, Neal Ruhl, are you a Brad Holmes simp or not? What is it? It's fair for me to have those feelings. Yes. I don't care what you guys say. It's fair.
It is.
I lived through the Randy Moss thing, passing on Randy Moss only to take Jermaine Crowell, like 15 picks later or whatever it was. I lived through that. And to make it worse for this.
What did Brad Holmes trade to get that? Oh, shit, it wasn't him. Again. Again, we got to move beyond that. You want to be the Philadelphians and you want to be the top and contend to that? Get your fucking mentality out of the garbage PTSD instead of what? Until it's time. That's what it is. You're fair enough to ask those questions, but you're not in the same fuck. We all went through abusive relationships. Now you're getting treated nice. The person treats you and you're waiting for the shoe to fall, right? What analogy I used last night? You're a great dude to some girl that you're going out with, and she got cheated on before, but you're doing everything right. What she gonna wait for you to fucking cheat on you because you're just like No, this is fuck. Can we not? Or am I reading it wrong? Is he just the same? Is this the same thing? Same regime? Unbelievable.
D-Town Drizzy says, I'm ready to run through a brick wall for D-Mac.
Let's go.
Right now.
Fuck yeah.
He is ready to go. You all are ready to go.
Hey, you know what? Don't worry, because I will be the one to shove it all up everybody's ass when it does work out.
So there you
have it. And I'll be the
that.
first one to say, hey, I was wrong.
Hey, is the Tigers on?
Yeah.
Tigers game on?
Oh, Kerry Carpenter threw his arm out last night. There's your Tigers update.
There's your Tigers update. Absolutely.
Yes, Benny, right there. I'm just saying.
All right. Swiss Insurance, Sam Flannel.
And of course, I have to follow that. Okay, be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give it a shot and you won't be disappointed. Email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Neal.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Back at it, off and running. Running being the operable word. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Appreciate you tapping in. Explosive viewership over the last couple days. If you're new, subscribe to the podcast. Big D Energy by Woodward Sports. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcasts. You got the show on your terms. Rewind, fast forward, all that. You want to relive D-Mac, rallying the troops. Rewind it, go back in there and listen to it again. And we like to get into the chat and everything like that. The chat is flying. Like we can't keep up with it. I'm going to do my best here for it. So we went through number 1. All right. I have my questions about passing on Jalen Carter. D-Mac has none, emphatically. Okay. We move on to segment 2 that happened last night. The Detroit Lions, we saw it when it popped up, when they traded. They traded back in the draft, and then they rolled out, and it was Jahmyr Gibbs. That was the play. That came from left field. And I know people stood up on a stage and wanted to take credit for it. It was nobody in the world said go get Jahmyr Gibbs. Mm-hmm. And I'm not allowing that from anybody on this network or anything. Yeah. Nobody said Jahmyr Gibbs. Fair?
Fair.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I said Bijan, that counts the same. No, it doesn't. And okay, so we're past the Jalen Carter thing, okay? I gave you my thoughts on it. Here's the thing that sold me on the Jahmyr Gibbs is, I got to be consistent, right? Like I say, I'm a simp. You got to let the man cook. I can have questions about it. I've been through enough as a Lions fan. I can have questions about it. I've earned that right. I have that seniority. The Jahmyr Gibbs thing, on paper, I'll always go back to when you saw Brad Holmes beat the piss out of that desk after he got him. And D-Mac got compensated to do so. Now, he planted a flag for his guy right there. He planted the flag. Okay, I'm on board with it. It seems a little high for the running back, all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't to him. So, all right, we ride. And I'm cool with it. I'm especially cool with the fact that you got compensated to do it. You basically moved up, because they gave up, pick 102 or whatever in addition to it? Something, I forget the exact number. They basically moved up 70 spots, in one of their draft picks. So they went from having 5 of the first 102 picks to 5 of the first 81. I'm on board with it. They got 34 for it. That's his guy. We ride. You can question it. You can question the running back. It flies in the face of value. But at the same time, we saw Bijan Robinson go in the top 10. And the Atlanta Falcons, they're putting together an offense, right? So there was a precedent to it. For me, if that's their guy, then that's their guy, D-Mac. And I don't have a huge problem with it.
Absolutely. The first thing for me is writing's on the wall, obviously, for DeAndre Swift. But, so that's still what's going to happen with him is up in the air. But you nailed it, Neal. When you watch the reaction, and we've seen the reaction, the hugs, the Sewells, the Hutchinsons, and stuff like this, but this one was like it felt like Brad Holmes stole something or knows something that we don't, or something that Ben Johnson the conversation last night, right? Always comes back to Jared Goff. And it's about putting weapons and assets around him to keep him mobile. We always talk about protecting him. But, when you look at what this guy brings as far as speed and space and stuff like this, and he's definitely the bottom line. Again, Brad Holmes stoked. The room was stoked. He's their guy. The money's there. Obviously, What Atlanta did, even taking Bijan, I think it was just something that with the trade, with the compensation, with everything, that it was a solid move.
He took his guy and got paid to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, the philosophy, I'm draft capital, right? I'm salary draft capital guy. That's where I live. That's what I'm about. I want all the picks.
There's only 2 guys, we remember this in the first round, 2 guys that he didn't have a shot at, and that was Witherspoon and Anderson.
Yeah.
Right? Other than the quarterbacks, but they weren't on the board. But that's the thing. So the due diligence, that's the big thing too. People don't forget, sometimes what you don't do benefits you than what you do. That's what I'm feeling here more than not. It's by not taking one of these guys that they didn't think was part of the future, part of getting to where the Philadelphias are. And we have to accept that. That's the whole thing. You have to accept that because your pick wasn't in or what you thought was going to go or the shiny toy. No, we're doing real men stuff here, doing real due diligence. And it's always more important, Neal, just listen to Dan Campbell. Listen to Brad Holmes. Listen to the coaches, the running backs coaches stuff. Talk about these guys. That should give you more confidence that they know exactly what they got and they got the guys they wanted.
And this will come into play a little bit later when we get into segment 3 of what happened last night, the Jack Campbell era. This will come into play there. Remember this, because I think with what Gibbs brings to the table, and Alex Haggerty says it very well, Swift misses multiple games every year. That's not debatable. It's fact. Running back is an important part of this team. Imagine J-Mo at the X or the slot, Gibbs running a wheel route or out in the flat. No one's catching him. And versatility. Gibbs brings versatility. And I think that's a theme. And I think, too, if we work backwards on this, if you look at even Penei Sewell, right? You bring him in, versatile. Flip him to the other side to play tackle there. Looks like he did all right doing it. I think that's fair to say.
Caught a pass.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson even. He played multiple different roles.
Dude, interceptions, right? Like the fact that he had 3 picks and the way that he did it. You know what I'm saying? And he's only going to get better too. But versatility, you nailed it.
Yeah. So again, be prepared though with that pick. And I keep hearing the rumors. A lot of people are talking about the WoodwardSports.com chat thread that Swift could be shipped out as soon as today. And I'm cool with that. Like, be prepared, everybody, to get a 7th round pick for him. Because what leverage do you have? Or a 6th round pick? And remember this, too. And we do this all the time. And there'll be a faction of people when they get a 6th or 7th round pick for him that go, oh my God, that's all you could get for him? He himself was a 2nd round pick who never played. Rarely played.
And I got the Brad Holmes video of him reacting to making the pick in the war room.
Yeah, run that for everybody. Because for those of you that didn't see it, and I don't know if this is right or wrong by me, but this sold me on it.
Stoke not scared.
You could talk over it because there's no sound.
No, okay, yeah. So here it is. Like, I mean,
got your guy. Isn't that when you get your guy?
Yes.
I mean, Neal,
and you're paid
Neal, that
to do
looks
so.
like you when you make a 3-footer for par.
Well, depending on how much money's on the line.
Absolutely.
Yeah, depending on how much money's on the line.
Man, papers going everywhere. Double. I mean, that hand's red from that slap on the table. I mean, that wasn't just a tap. That was a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it, baby. Get it. Yeah. We got it. Nice glasses, too.
And so, getting back to it, you can debate the position, like the draft number and stuff like that. Again, this is not your fantasy league. Like, their pick was at 12. That's where they moved down to. If there's any question, if you can't get them at 18, then you got to move on.
Show it again, Spenny. I'm going to show you this, where this was Brad Holmes' guy all day long to whatever it's gone back to from far enough back. Watch Dan Campbell here. You got your guy, bro. You got your guy. Now watch Coach go in the back. You know that feeling when your boy just did something good or you got something like you can't sort of believe. Like, you remember when Penei Sewell and everybody was like, that he felt to him and they were happy and it was just sort of like, oh my gosh, it felt to us and we're happy with what they got. This is a different one, but it's all on their game plan, right? All on their game plan, whatever contingency plan that was. I just thought that was that was exciting, how invested everybody is. You know when you get happy for your buddy? You know what I mean? Way to go, bud. And then you sort of stand back and let him take the shine or whatever, and you're like, man, he did it. You know what I mean? Oh, he was right all along. That's his guy.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, MPWMU says that's fake and more fake. But see, and John Jones, WMU, John Jones, I think, says it well. He's out there missing high fives. That means it's not fake. When you miss a high five, that's genuine emotion.
And remember, when throwing a high five, always look at the elbow, and you'll never miss.
It's fact. True.
No, like, look at Tiger Woods and his caddy. They never connected on a high five. All the big putts he made, they never connected on a high five. That to me is a tell that it's genuine emotion. When you miss the high five. Eric Brenner says, Neal, I think the Lions traded back, tried to get cute, and it burnt them. See, Eric, they were compensated to do so, and you'll see it tonight. They're picking 34. Like, they were compensated to do so. And it's their guy. I have a problem with them passing on Jalen Carter. I don't have a problem with them planting his flag and saying this was my guy, and I was compensated to make this move. I don't have a problem with that. He's given me no reason to think that there should be a problem. And yes, drilling down, there is some PTSD with the Jalen Carter thing. I'm being fair with this. I'm being vulnerable to everybody. I'm open and honest right now. This is my chair. This is my couch. I'm laying on it.
Hey, you know what's interesting as we get into, what Brad Holmes said and stuff like this? This is villain. We're talking about, this is when the villain explanation, and I saw it in the chat thread, but when you go out and you pick your guys and you don't give a shit what anybody else thinks, including the fans or whatever like this around the room, like that, the villain into whatever is that we're doing it my way or the highway, and I'm good with it.
Just a real quick follow-up, and Spenmo, maybe we can run this one through the break. I just want to get everybody's thoughts on it. Are you prepared to get a 7th-round pick for DeAndre Swift? Are you good with it? Because that's about the market
7th?
you're going to... 6 or a... whatever. You want to make people feel better, a 6th.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. That's what you're getting. You're getting a 6th or a 7th.
Oh, for sure.
Because you have zero leverage. The guy misses a ton of games, and he himself is in a walk year who was a 2nd-round pick that did nothing to make you want to keep him.
Walk.
So I just want to make sure the people are all right with what's about to go down. That's it. So we will roll on. When we come back, we're getting to part 3. It deals with the Verbo Citrus Bowl and the Iowa Hawkeyes. We're gonna get into it. Hey guys, I talk about it. We're at the Planet Fitness Studios. Now is the best time to join. Every time's the best time to join Planet Fitness. Guys, I've been there going on 3 years now. Couldn't be more happy with my decision to be a Black Card member at Planet Fitness. I believe you would too. Hey, you got a club that you go to every single day? That's fine. Do the $10 a month. Get access to that home club. More than enough for you. Some of you guys are out there in the world, and this isn't Planet Fitness's word. This is my word because I have friends that are doing this, and I say why to them. You're paying $50, $60, $70 a month because your place has a rock wall. All right? Like for DMAC, people are out there doing this, man, and I don't get it. There's cardio equipment for days. There's weights for days. I can run on that treadmill, do a 7-mile day, be on there for an hour. It doesn't matter. You can just get on another treadmill because there's treadmills everywhere. Planet Fitness has everything you need, guys. Trust me on this one, okay? Go to planetfitness.com. You can join there. Pull in the parking lot on the way home. You're going to pass one or two of the nearly 50 Metro Detroit Planet Fitness locations. And with the Black Card membership, as I said, you get access to every single Planet Fitness in the world, over 2,000 of them, with all the amenities. Very, very easy, guys. Go to planetfitness.com. DMAC, it's Planet Fitness.
Well, your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
With the 18th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jack Campbell.
That's it?
And he pieced out.
Sitting right next to him, and he was looking at me because I got the alert on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, they're getting Jack Campbell," and I know how he's made himself very clear how he feels about Jack Campbell. I was like, "B, it's Jack Campbell." He looked at me, he's like, "I'm out."
And he didn't talk about it.
No. He was
He beat about it.
Yeah.
He got out.
I love it.
He got up and left.
I didn't see him on the way. I was like, they ninja dust. That hurt him. What, is he adamant that he just hates him?
Well, and he spelled out the reasons, the 40 times. And look, I know everyone's going to give me Wonderlic test and SAT scores and all that kind of stuff. Braylon has made his case with football reasons.
Listen, and if you are not gonna sit here and listen to what Braylon Edwards, who has been there, done that, got the T-shirt, has to say in his reaction, that's what. If there's anything that would give me pause or whatever, but again, it's got to play out. And Braylon being the first one, hates it, doesn't like it. Right? We'll be sitting there, but he's willing to say, okay, I know he is. He's going to say, okay, I don't like it, but I got to see how it works out before I butcher the move or the guy. Dude, you know what? What a great, because it's Braylon, but remove yourself from a situation where it can't get any better. And you know what? It'll be better for us. So I'm proud of him.
No.
I'm proud of him for that, but I mean, like, yeah, if you want to see how literally somebody who does this, that lives this, that breathes this, like Braylon does, how to get affected, that was 100% natural. So he'll talk about it today, and I'm sure that, you know, the one thing about Braylon is he's really good retrospectively to break it down. But who are we to question a former football guy that's been there on the field in the Big Ten with all this stuff? But again, so put that in. And here's the thing. What did I tell you last night? Get a picture of Jack Campbell. Put a big question mark on it. Put it up in your house.
And you told me that's fair.
That's absolutely fair. But what's fair, but what isn't fair is waiting to see not only what's said, but the actions on the field. Because maybe, just maybe, we won't have to have a linebacker running 40 yards downfield to catch somebody. Maybe it's the scheme sort of thing. We have to play it out. But, I mean, I like the raw, and that's genuine raw and reaction and stuff like this. But again, and then this is what I'll say to that. Braylon Edwards isn't Brad Holmes.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike G says Braylon's so mad he wants to kick Chuck Long in the junk. I wish he would have kicked Chuck Long in the junk before the Lions drafted him back in the day. That would have been all right. David Mentier says, did he really just leave? Yes.
We call that ninja dust.
Like left the building.
He left.
He went home.
Yeah.
His night was over. Like that was it.
Well, we don't know if he went home. He left.
But he didn't stay here.
There's emergency protocol. I had to hop on the desk next to Ryan.
Jack Harrington says, LOL, he was about it. No, he was. And look, drop it in there in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Give me all the SAT scores and all that kind of stuff. Here's what I'll say. Whatever, man. You know, you guys, and look, you guys know where I am. I didn't have like the in-depth football race, and Braylon made a very convincing case when we talked about it. Fair questions to ask. The speed issue, all that kind of stuff. Has to be like a straight line rusher to get to the quarterback, all that kind of stuff. Here is where, when I heard Brad Holmes talk about it, what I took away from it, and remember before when I talked about Gibbs, and I talked about versatility, right? With Jack Campbell, that was reading between the lines was he can do a lot of things, a lot of different things. He's capable.
That we will need him to do on our defense, right? Neal specifically is that we have this person because we feel he can do these things to help us proverbially stop the run, right? Or cover, or whatever it is in the linebacker position. I mean, like all these questions, like they're it's not fair to ask them, as you should, but look and see why you're asking them. And a lot of it is PTSD. Now, when Braylon breaks it down to a football because he's been out there, you know what I'm saying? That has more stock to it. But again, how is he used? Right? How is he used? What have we seen from this regime, even from, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, putting guys in positions to succeed, right? Can we agree with that?
No.
It looks like, the coaching and stuff like this. So I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt that it's going to continue until I see it not continuing.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Are you happy with the Jack Campbell pick? 78% of the people say yes. Is there any Big Ten in that?
There's a lot of Big Ten in that. But also, he's a good player.
Listen, I wanted him.
Yeah.
I want him. I didn't want him. I didn't think I'd get him at 18, but I thought maybe 34 or 40 A, or if you whatever else. I think the big thing, Neal, is when people say, "Oh, you got graded this by," who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, you could have got 99% say you could have got him here and could have got him. You never know that. Mm-hmm. And when Brad Holmes comes out and says that I'm not going to jeopardize losing the player that I want just out of semantics and because it looks good. That's the guy that I want.
Yeah. My favorite linebacker in the draft was Deion Henley, but that was based off of his pass coverage. Jack Campbell is a much bigger player, so he'll definitely...
It's apples to oranges.
Yeah, he'll definitely be better in run stoppage, but, I don't not like it. I like Jack Campbell. I had a pretty high grade for him, too. I thought he was going to either be the first or second linebacker off the board, but like you said, 18 is a lot.
I'll put it this way. I'm more happy if it's got to be Iowa and I have to wear a Verbo Citrus Bowl T-shirt on the air because I'm a man of my word as the minister of integrity that you are for Woodward Sports. You can confirm I'm a man of my word. Here I am. I'm much more happy to report as the dust has kind of settled. I'm much more happy to report I'm saying that I'm wearing this shirt talking about Jack Campbell at 18 than I would have been Lucas Van Ness at 12.
Yeah.
Hey, how about when he was picked and then we looked at each other and went, yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah,
right, so be happy with that.
He's the best of the Iowa. You could have had Lucas Van Ness or Sam Laporta, but Jack Campbell's the one that I'm cool with.
Yeah, so, it's one of those things for me where if you go back and you look at it, and I see some people in the chat talking about, if you wanted a running back, then take Bijan Robinson. To do Gibbs, you got compensated to do it, and you save $5 million. That's what the numbers are. You got number 34. Well, I got to stop calling it 34. You didn't get 34. You turned 102 into 34, and you saved $5 million.
Is that good, GM?
It's my style. It is my style. Now, I was a big Bijan Robinson guy. I think he's going to be. He's as close to pro ready as anybody was.
So it's a little sidetrack question here. With the way you saw it play out, we went 12-18, picked that. In hindsight, would you have rather taken Bijan at 6?
No.
No,
absolutely not.
Adamant about that, right? Because the money plays out because of the versatility of the player and specifically because they got the player they wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're looking at 6 got $28 million guaranteed.
See,
so that's $10 million.
I think
savings.
the small flex, right, was really moving out of that position, and now you still got 2 first rounders. You got the 3rd pick in the 2nd round, which you're going to get great players, and the value of what you're building, which is going to enable you to have money left over for other things.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. We have the poll going as well. Are you happy with the Jack Campbell pick? 78% of you say yes, which is higher than I thought, based on the room.
Yeah.
Like last night. The energy got sucked out of that room at 18. That's fair to say?
That is fair to say.
So I'm surprised to see it this high. But again, I'm talking through it. You guys are my therapist today. I have a Verbo Citrus. I got to give Verbo their props because they were Citrus Bowl sponsor. Of course, Iowa played in that bowl. And again, a lot of my bias is not Jack Campbell bias. It's Iowa bias. I'm just honest about it and being fair. Because, again, Sam Flannel, what's the last big win Iowa football's ever had?
Can't think of it off the top of my head.
I would lean towards that 9-7 win against South Dakota State last year. That was a big win.
Oh, yeah. No touch. How many touchdowns do they have in their first 3 games in the non-conference? It was something terrible like that. They're a football eyesore.
Woodward Sports chat poll, as we said, people seem to be happy, but then there's Let's Go Red Wing Sparty, who says Jack Campbell will be a fine executive in the league one day. So there's that.
After he's had a Spielman-like career. Perfect. Following right in his footsteps.
I keep hearing
He's
that
a smart guy.
Good scores.
Good scores. Good locker room presence.
Keith Smith says 78% of people are liars. I will tell you this. I have never seen this before, though. I mean, I'm sure we have.
Seen what?
This division.
Divide?
Yeah. There is nobody in the middle of the pool. Nobody.
No.
This is a junior high dance right now that's just starting. That's what the first round of the draft is. The Lions' first round of the draft and the fans' reception to it is a junior high dance that started at 7 and it's 7:02.
Dancing in the circle.
Yeah. You know, the one group of guys over there acting the fool and stuff like that.
And they sort of walk closer to the group of girls.
They used to open the gym for us in the middle school dances. It's clutch. Just go in there and play basketball the whole time.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Jack Harrington, LMAO,
That's why you're so good with the ladies, Spenny.
I'm seeing it right now, and I know this is getting heightened because I'm getting alerts on it. Various media entities have confirmed that the Lions are taking calls on DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, ESPN put it out there.
Yep. Swift's representatives have been in contact with the team about potentially moving to a new team, so it sounds like it's amicable. And it's so real that my Bible, Spot Rack, has tweeted about it and said a team trading for DeAndre Swift would acquire him on a non-guaranteed $1.77 million contract for the final year of his rookie contract. So that's where he sits right now. He is cheap. So maybe that can bump you up to a fifth, or a seventh to a sixth, or a sixth to a fifth, or whatever. But that sounds like it's going down for real, and it's probably going to happen today.
Absolutely. Wouldn't be surprised you get another asset.
The show goes on.
Show goes on.
Just like Alta.
Well, it's uptime. Brad Holmes making some uptime matter. We'll see. Because that Alta uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You got a bog project, or you're doing stuff like Brad Holmes in Kansas City this weekend. Alta Rent, they got you covered. Call them today, 844, go to Alta. That's 844, go to Alta.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at FoalingWarehouse.com.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you, the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Make sure, too, you visit WoodwardSports.com. Lots of draft day reaction, all the articles and everything that's up there. As well, subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, all the new people that are just finding us for the first time, and I know there are some. Appreciate you checking out the network. I'm a big believer in what we do here. You guys are too, because over 40,000 of you watched the draft show last night.
Hey, real quick though, like forget the way the draft played out and everything, but everybody had a good time last night. Everybody had fun.
It was fun seeing Spenmo in his element. It was fun talking to the people.
A lot of fun.
You know what was really cool? Like not only just putting some names to faces and guys, the people that we've met before, and having those conversations. Your buddy Nick, the
Giants fan,
Daniel Jones slap. I mean, how does Daniel Jones pick up all that money with those little hands? But just and it was really cool to see. For us here, and I'm always looking at the destinations and Oasis, the journey, but everybody in this building, being outside of this building, getting together, and I just want to say shout out to everybody, who was behind the scenes, in front of the scenes to put it together, because that was a fun night, and it was a weird night, and it was I think emotionally we were looking for something different, but. Again, we were all in it together, and the conversation, you know what it was, Neal? The real adult conversations, no matter if you were in or you were out, right? Like, I had 3 or 4 conversations, and I'm not going to levy from what I believe, and somebody else who was telling me military, it's you have to, check and the questions about not being sure but letting it play out, we all got to the same common ground. Right? It's like too early to get all really upset. You could be right.
You know why that is, D-Mac? You know why that is? And this just kind of popped in my head. Because there is a foundation for the. I was at Disney a month ago. For the first time in forever, there's a foundation.
So in saying that, right? Thank you for saying that, because that was sort of my point. Is that we do see that, and whether we don't trust it or we want to hide back in the hole with PTSD what we've had, that's what we're talking it out, but we'll get there. So whenever everybody wants to come out of their hole and whatever, because the one thing that I'm absolutely for sure is everybody, no matter which side they're on, they're all in, right? Even the ones that are so pissed and mad at everything that went on and handing out Fs and stuff like this. They're still all in, Neal, and that's the beauty of it. We're all in this together. You nailed it. Foundation.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Nick just jumped in here as the Giants fan there. It was great. Love you guys. Appreciate you rolling out, Nick.
Giants fan.
You're a beauty.
He's sitting there. This is what I'm talking about, though.
He waited till
D-Mac,
what pick did the Giants have?
Like 26.
It was like midnight when they picked.
The Giants, they were... Yeah, where were they? They were way back there, like 20. They were 25. They took Deonte Banks, by the way.
Good pick.
Yeah, there were some dudes sitting back there, but it was a good time and all that stuff. But I have to ask the question. Knowing what we know now, if you could go back, I want to go around the room here. You guys jump in on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. Spenmo, what would you have done?
I would have taken Jalen Carter.
So you stayed at 6 and stayed at 18?
Yeah.
And taken Jalen Carter.
So does the fact that Holmes passed on all these guys, like character-wise, the things that we heard? Remember when Dan Campbell said, "Oh, it was interesting. We talked to some teammates. It was interesting what came out." Well, obviously it was interesting to that he didn't like it. Does any of this, the factor, change your mind? But the fact that they passed on these guys, I wouldn't take these guys because they didn't pass the checklist of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. That's more important to me.
Yeah. What do you got, Sam Flannel? What would you have done? Hold on, Spenmo. What would you have done? Well, also, what would you have done at 18?
Oh, I don't.
Knowing that your boy Christian Gonzalez, Forbes, they were both gone.
I like Banks. Those were my picks before the draft was Carter and Banks.
Okay.
So I'm going to stick with that.
So you're staying where you were. All right, Sam Flannel. What'd you have done?
Something very similar to Spenny, actually. I would have stood pat and took Jalen Carter at 6. To me, you could argue he was the best prospect in the draft. I would say Will Anderson, but Jalen Carter was not that far behind. And to me, him falling at 6, especially with it being such a need for the Lions, it was a gift, and the Lions re-gifted that gift to the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see how it plays out, obviously. And at 18, I would have actually taken a guy who is still available for, and might still be available for the Lions at 34, and that is my guy, Joey Porter Jr., a guy who has obviously been falling, and maybe I should look into why he's falling out of the first round. But to me, he's got the ideal size for a corner, physical, length, speed, allowed only 15 completions for 143 yards in his last year at Penn State for about a little more than 10 yards per game. I just think with Mosley and C.J. Gardner-Johnson being on 1-year deals, one of them might not come back for a second year. And Joey Porter on a rookie deal, I think that would have been the pick for me at 18, although still get him at 34.
Yeah, so there
Saying
you
there's
have
a
that.
chance.
D-Mac.
And again, right? I'm not the smartest guy in the room or whatever, so I trust in what Brad Holmes did. I really like the fact that the due diligence to let you know that these aren't your guys is big. I can't tell you that enough. Right? And the fact to move back, the fact to do a GM thing where you got compensated to pick that guy. Now, would I have picked Jack Campbell at 18? No, because I think he would have been available at 32 or something like that. Would I have gone a defensive guy? But again, I revert back and go, no, I trust Brad Holmes. I'm just see what he's giving me for Christmas. Right? I get all caught up with you guys and this guy and that guy, but there's a reason now because of the competency that none of these guys were picked. Right? So, I mean, it's interesting to see what the rest of the draft. I still have to see the whole landscape, the whole meal. But would I wouldn't, like, honestly, if I was picking, I wouldn't have picked Campbell there because I would have thought he would have fallen down. So, you know, I would have looked for some size. When any of the linemen still there? I don't know. I don't put as much stock in it as everybody else does.
Your mom's favorite skater is really trying to pop me right now and says, I would have doubled up on the Iowa guys. so there's that as well.
Lucas Van Ness
at 12. Campbell at 18. Neal's head explodes.
We get Laporta at 34.
So you'd basically be doing what the Eagles did, but the Iowa version.
Yeah, but the Iowa, and that would be on brand, right? They get all the Georgia guys, we get all the Iowa guys. I wonder how that would work out.
We can't eat at Georgia. We've got Iowa at home.
Yeah.
They have the 4 probably most important players on one of the best defenses in the history of NCAA. That's crazy.
It's true.
The Eagles are really good.
Lance is gone, says, Neal, your face yesterday was amazing. I laughed so hard. That wasn't like, I know like a lot of these draft people like do stuff for show. I was genuinely stunned. Staggered. I had a body shot.
You're not built to take punches, bro.
Well,
that's Spenny and I's job.
It was, as evidence.
That's what it is.
Spemo didn't talk about it. He beat about it.
A lot of you guys don't know how to take a punch.
Yes.
D-Mac, you know what that is?
Listen.
You know what that is right there, D-Mac? That's when you got hit in the gut while you were exhaling. You know, you got the...
Hey, anybody talking about, you know what? Fuck the Texans. What they did, if you weren't ready for the nut shot early on, when you got to see how excited they get C.J. Stroud and then they trade back in and get Will Anderson. Why wouldn't they just pick Will Anderson first?
Yeah.
That was a nut shot right there.
You brought that up last night,
I was like, fuck you guys. So I'm impervious. It's like I was ready for the shock or the or whatever, but it was... that
wasn't nut
You're
shot.
not built... See, you got to be built to... When you're building this car, you got to be built to take a punch.
Yeah.
And not literally, Spenny. Didn't need to take a punch. I was just being, figuratively speaking.
I know what you mean.
For me, how I would have operated, I think I would have went Christian Gonzalez at 12 and rolled the dice that Gibbs would be there at 18.
I like that.
That's what I wanted him to do at 12. I wanted him to go Christian Gonzalez at that point.
I think reports are coming out, too. I've read a couple places that the Jets were high on Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the Patriots.
And the Patriots
really wanted him.
So, I mean, what's that tell you, too? These are the rumblings that'll come out behind the scenes. So, again, getting ahead of the problem. I said to you, I thought, right, I came up to you and walked by and went, Smith-Njigba, I thought we were going to take because I thought that maybe you need that receiver, right? Take him away from Green Bay, who's picking after you. But what did they do? They did a version of that because they got a multi-versatile back with speed and stuff like that that arguably can line up in the slot. You know, like, so you got some versatility on that one, too, on that pick, too.
And a lot of people are echoing that sentiment that, you know, I don't think Gibbs would have been there. Well, then there's no room to be critical of it then, right? Like the people, Spenmo, like you say, it was 2 reaches.
Yeah.
If that's true, then it's not a reach, right?
If
like,
he wouldn't have been there 18, it's not a reach.
It's not a reach.
And New England would have taken him, is what reports are.
Yeah, and that's I did hear talk about that as well. I would have rolled the dice. You know, if I came up bust or whatever, old Jack Campbell would have been there.
Yeah.
Old Jack Campbell.
Old Jack Campbell.
You know, old Jack Campbell, man. It's yeah. So that is it. You guys want to? Do we want to talk round 2, or do we want to take a quick spin around just what stuck out to you team wise?
Yeah.
Which one? What do you guys want to do? Put it on the poll real quick.
Poll?
Yeah. We'll put it on the poll. We'll let it run through real quick. Wrapping up. Are you happy with the Jack Campbell pick? 77% of you say yes. We'll put that on the poll through the break. What do you guys want to do next? Do you want to take just one quick spin around the NFL, round 1, recap that, or do you just want to say F that and roll right into the Lions? What are we doing tonight? So we'll see what you guys want to do. Choose your own adventure here on Big D Energy.
I used to love those books.
Oh, me too. I think that's what got me started reading.
So, yeah, choose your own adventure, everybody. Spenmo's going to put that up there. I'm going to tell you the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It's a series that fights the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. The people have spoken. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. It's a choose your own adventure. Remember, you're new to the show. Subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever. Big D Energy brought to you by Woodward Sports. And we asked you, wow, we've never had a poll this strong. I could say, do you like sunshine? And it wouldn't be 93%.
Yeah, that is a good point.
But hey, the people have spoken. They want to talk round 2. At some point, I do want to just get it. The Ravens went all in. By the way, that got washed under the rug yesterday. Lamar got his money.
Yeah, he got paid.
Got his money.
$52 million a year.
And guess who he didn't have to pay? An agent.
Yeah.
Lamar, he needs an agent. Doesn't know what he's doing.
Good for him, man.
Were you surprised I got done before the draft, or the way that it played out just shows you that, okay, Baltimore being adults in the room went, okay, now we move on. Here's your thing. This draft starts
It's either that or Lamar told him, I will die on the hill. And I will not play for you.
And here's the thing, real quick. I believe him. I believe Lamar, Lamar Jackson comes across to me that, he's a man of action. he'd knock his nose to spite his face no matter how many millions.
Yeah.
I sort of run with that, sort of. And I can Real recognizes Real.
No question.
Good for him.
And then the Ravens went out and got Zay Flowers for him too. So, they're going all in. So good for Lamar, man. You always get pushback when you do stuff unconventionally. Always.
Oh, really? Like Brad Holmes?
You do. You always get pushback.
Wow. Would we say this first round for the Lions is unconventional?
Well, hey, however you shake it up, we're here right now, and 93% of you said yes, we want to do round 2. So let's get into it, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Yeah, we shall. Detroit Lions, where they're sitting at right now, and they're going to be picking early in the second round of this draft, and they have pick number 34. So here in the second round tonight, the Detroit Lions will be picking in the second round, they'll be picking 3rd, 17th, and 24th.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of capital. That's a lot of picks. Where are we at? Where are they going? What do we want to see?
I guarantee they're going guard with one of them.
So now you're talking.
Either Osiris Torrance or Steve Avila. I think they're going to take them.
You think at 34?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess my question is it like position need? What do you expect there? Because I like it's like doing the first round over again. You got 3, 17, and 24. What do we expect? Guard, tackle, receiver? Are we looking at? Are we looking at corner? Is Joey Porter Jr. still in there?
Could go corner for sure.
D-Mac, I have to interrupt you for a second here.
You're more than allowed.
And I have to step in here. And I've seen this a couple of times. The people in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread that are putting that energy out there of the Will Levis is a Lion, stop.
Wait. Stop. Hold on.
Wow.
Really? Where was that?
It's in there.
No, it's not.
Stop it. Get some help.
Please don't put that energy out there in the universe.
Hey, hold on. I got to do let me do a...
I'm
going to do... Here, just go ahead. Give me a moment. I'm going to do a karma prayer dance. So
a seance.
I just got to align... All right, we're good. No, okay. So back to the guard and the tackle.
Okay, and so here's where it is for me, and this was even up till recently. Osiris Torrance.
Yeah.
Big Osiris Torrance guy.
They saw him a lot too.
They did see him a lot. And look, I was one of them. I was stunned yesterday. But even for the most ardent Lions draft haters, like you could say, just when I thought you couldn't do anything dumber, you do something like that and totally redeem me. I mean, like I'm all in. I'm all in on the guard situation.
They're definitely going to get one, no doubt in my mind. With both, those are probably 2 of the top 3 guards in the draft, and they're both
coming off of last night's first round. Spenny's just dropped. No doubt in my mind, we're going to guard here and whatever like this.
Spenmo, that's not fair to say.
With your greatest acumen of sports football knowledge, you would assume.
I would assume
that right now, because of the way that the offensive linemen have gone.
Yeah.
In the middle to the end of the first round, that we're going to go there.
The way that the Lions don't have a starting guard on their roster next year, and the 2 best guards are still available, I'd be pretty shocked if they didn't take one of them. Torrance or Avila, pick your poison. It'll probably be Torrance because they watched him so much.
Which the rooms, Sam Flannel? I mean, you've been quiet today, Sam Flannel.
I mean, Osiris Torrance, I wouldn't mind it. I think... And I don't know how it'll play out. Obviously, there's a lot of variables in the draft. I would think that you could get Steve Avila at 48 or 55. I'm not quite sure about that. I personally would probably take Joey Porter Jr. at 34 if he is available. But at some point, don't they have to address the interior defensive line?
Yes.
I mean, do we want Keanu Benton at 48 or 55? Like, what's the guy?
I was going to say, if you walk out of that second round with one of those guards, either Torrance or Avila, Javon Dexter out of Florida, the defensive tackle, and Jalen Hyatt, I'll be extremely happy. I'd be extremely happy with that. They're good. They're going to get a defensive tackle, like you said. They got to address it.
They have to. And I would like, and I know that these first-round picks, obviously there's a lot to be seen with them. They might turn out to be great. I would like in the second round, if there isn't anything too off the wall, like say if they were to go after Will Levis or something like that, then my head would absolutely explode. I would like a little bit more picks. Like I don't want to say safe picks, but I would like him to pick at least one of the guys that fell, that were supposed to be maybe mid-first round picks but fell. Like even a Miles Murphy, for example, or a Brian Branch, or a Joey Porter Jr. would be the one that I would prefer.
Yeah, I was really upset when I saw Mozzie Smith go.
It was another gut punch in an evening full of gut punches.
No, because that was the narrative in there. Okay, guys, listen, I think we can get Mozzie. I think he's going to fall to 34. If we get him, then you look at the three we have. And the Dallas Cowboys select from the University of Michigan, Mozzie's
And then to top it all off, Brian Brzee gets drafted by New Orleans.
Yeah.
So it's like all of the top defensive
and then
tackle
Miles Murphy went like literally everybody that you were like, well, they'd be they would be a hell of a pick in the second round. They all went, and it was some sadness, and it added to the night. But I think we're rested. I think we're rejuvenated.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
And this is sort of relative, but it's a little off, right? Because I see in the chat thread and the name come up, right? Ed Oliver. Because of the way things have played out in the draft, still like
no.
Okay, there you go.
So you can pay him next year. He's in the
talking
option
about not
year,
having
man.
defensive line. We're talking. Is there an inkling of the plan with the money? So you say no?
I'll give you Swift for him.
What's that?
I'll give you Swift for him. Swift for Ed Oliver, straight up.
Straight up.
Yeah. Not a chance. No.
Yeah, I'm not interested in paying him. You went like right here, right now. Again, like we talk about these guys that they want to be traded.
Does it change?
Yeah.
Has it changed because they've saved the money? They put the money here. Like, is devil's advocate? Is that like people are asking, or is there a possibility? And the money doesn't work. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, because you got to whoever after this year he needs to be paid. And if they don't want to pay him, why do I?
Okay.
They're in the Super Bowl waters, right? Like, and they don't want him. So I don't know,
I'm just trying to fill in things of need. Things of need. There it is.
And look, I get
Dexter,
it.
Man, I'm telling you.
What's that, Spen?
I like Javon Dexter out of Florida. Another Florida guy. If they got Torrance and Dexter, I'd be.
What about this? Dirty Dr. D says, never another Avila in Detroit again.
That's fair.
That is fair.
That's why I want Torrance.
Yeah. Also in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, I'm salty. I think we should draft another Iowa player. Big Iowa football contingent here in the WoodwardSports.com.
You're wearing the shirt. It's inviting them in. It's like a moth to a light.
For those that don't know the backstory, because a lot of you that are watching are new, I am not an Iowa football fan at all. I believe that there is no more overrated program in the history of the world than Iowa football. And I back it up with a simple question. Tell me a big win they've ever had.
Guys, he just said something nice about Michigan. Give him credit.
That's true.
Did. You just said Iowa's the most overrated program.
Yeah, and they are. And they absolutely are.
That was a small flex for your program.
Their coach steals all that money without a gun and a mask. It's incredible, actually. Again, tell me the big things.
Tell me your agent's number.
Yeah, tell me your agent's number, please. Through all that, I said on the air, I said, if the Lions take a guy from Iowa in the first round, I will wear the Iowa shirt. We have people that watch that live in Iowa. They sent me a Verbo Citrus Bowl Iowa Hawkeyes t-shirt in the mail. I'm a man of my word. Here I am. So, that is it.
Cool shirt.
Verbo.
Yeah.
What happened to the Citrus Bowl? Remember the Citrus Bowl used to be something?
It's any bowl game that's not in the playoff. It's not just the Citrus Bowl.
Now it's sponsored by Verbo
I
and
was
Iowa plays
more
in
interested anybody stayed at a Verbo spot. That's true. That's the most intriguing thing on that jersey.
Yeah, so that is it. But I am very much, and it's real, right? Like we're looking at it. They have the number 3 pick tonight. And when you scan like the quote unquote best availables, there's still a lot of names out there. Where are we at with the Michael Mayer thing?
No.
I'm asking.
No.
I'm not saying. I'm asking.
No.
Is that a guy? Well, is that a guy at 55? Or does it go that far?
I think at a tight end, I would be so mad.
You don't want one?
I'm asking.
I don't want a tight end.
Okay.
You know what? I'll be the one to take some of the swords. I'm not saying 34 or 48, but if Michael Mayer falls to 55, you take him.
Thank you, Sam. I was just wondering, so you wouldn't have a problem with that.
At 55.
At
like
55.
Risk like rolling the dice if he's gone, no big deal. But I really like Michael Mayer. I think that he's going to be one of the best tight ends in the NFL in like 4 to 5 years.
Ooh.
He put up a lot of numbers having
Now,
very,
when
very
you say this, though, do you say it with the same confidence that Scott Frost in Nebraska will be back, and then 3 weeks later Scott Frost was fired?
You
That
always
is
keep
funny.
You always keep receipts, Neal. I love it.
100%?
Oh, absolutely. That was your greatest? Wow. No. Ben Wallace
Your
is the
greatest
worst.
and your worst, all wrapped up into one.
What about what Apollo says? We will take Will Levis and Michael Mayer.
I'll get my Braylon on, and I'll leave the network.
Honestly.
Well, see you later.
Well, see you later, everybody. I'll go to
At
Lady
least you
Jane.
would-
I'll go to Lady Jane's and get a haircut.
At least you would give that, though.
Yeah.
You would give them the and you know what? If you went to Lady Jane's to get a haircut, not just you, Neal, but anybody walking in any Lady Jane's for award-winning haircut experience, and automatically entered for a chance to win not one, but two. Yes, two of your choice vehicles, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, best bud, Spenmo racks, whoever. You still
I could
need
use
that
a
car,
car.
Spenmo?
No.
All right. He said yes. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag out. There they go, right on the whistle, baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Day 2 of the NFL Draft, rounds 2 and 3 tonight. As a matter of fact, Detroit Lions in a prime spot due to their trade. They'll be picking 3rd, 17th, and 24th. And again, just perusing, just to give you the list of what you're dealing with right here, the best availables. Number 1, Will Levis. Nope. Number 2, Michael Mayer. Sam Flannel says yes. The rest of civilization
at 55,
says no.
Only at 55. Let me clarify that.
No, okay. Number 3, Joey Porter Jr.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't hate that.
Number 4, Brian Branch.
No.
I wouldn't be pounding the table.
You know what? You guys want something bold? Brian Branch, I think, is very much in play. And you know why? If you go back through, and D-Mac, what have we been talking about with the picks, with Brad Holmes' picks so far? Versatility, right? The ability to do multiple things. Is he a Sauce Gardner when he plays a corner? Obviously not, but he can. Obviously, he can play safety. That's his trade, is to play safety. He's versatile, like he fits the mold. I'm just saying, what would be the reaction?
I wouldn't hate it. I mean, it kind of sounds like you're talking about like a C.J. Gardner-Johnson type who's a safety who can play safety and corner. I wouldn't hate that at all for the Lions at 34. I mean, especially with, like we said, they did reshape their secondary in the offseason through free agency signings, but 2 of them are one-year deals. You can't just like let that slip by the wayside. I wouldn't hate it.
So it's just something that's out there. Luke Musgrave. We're off the tight end train, right? Right? Everybody hates it.
Yes.
No Luke Musgrave.
Okay. Hendon Hooker. Not me. Doesn't help you.
I wouldn't hate it.
Where?
48.
With the third pick tonight. These are the best availables, according to ESPN.
No thanks. No thanks.
Can we chat pull that one?
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker.
At 34?
Hendon Hooker. Well, by the math, that's what it's going to take to get him, right?
I think it'll be there for 48.
Right here, right now. Quarterback crowd, please stand up. Hendon Hooker at 34.
To that conversation, right? If I don't want, do you think that there's a possibility that a team might want to move up to take him if we don't want him? And
I mean, you know me, 100%. I'm in that. I'm about that life. So, I want to know. I want to know where the people are. I want to know the quarterback tolerance for the people.
Strong no already.
Well, I figured it would be Steve Avila. Can we get past the Al Avila?
Yeah.
You can? Are you sure?
Yeah, I can.
I want Torrance just because his name's Avila.
I don't.
You can't hate.
I
You
like
can't hate that
Torrance
logic.
because his first name's Osiris. That's cool,
He's also got a cool.
But
last name.
I think I'd go Avila. I think it's a safer pick, the versatility.
You want another one that I believe could be in play? Keanu Benton.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Defensive tackle from Wisconsin. He fits what I say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want big guys that push people this way and push people that way.
Yeah, that way.
I mean, it's out there. Jonathan Mingo intrigues me. The moral of the story is, as you go through this and you look at the names that are out there, there are guys out there. It's a good round to have 3 picks. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
It is.
You're going to get good players, no matter, to help your team. And it'll be just interesting to see how we're continuing to build. And I mean, are we not in a, like you said that? So other teams are thinking that too, which it wouldn't shock me to see them trade out of that position, or one of them. Would it shock you?
No.
With the fact that there's 2 quarterbacks still there in Hooker and Levis, the fact that there are viable players in there. Porter's still up there. Is that a guy, Joey Porter Jr., we talked about before, is that a guy that you take at 34? Does he fit your system or your scheme? So, questions to be answered. Definitely, I think tonight is just as intriguing as last night.
I would agree. Here's the name. Here's the name I want. I don't know where it plays out. Here is the name that I want. Like, you guys, if I could shake this out and come out of here with like Osiris Torrance, and you give me Jalen Hyatt.
Yes.
Now I'm speaking your language, right?
Yes.
I would like one of those 2 receivers.
Or A.T. Perry or Jalen Hyatt.
Or Mingo.
Yeah.
I would like it just as a value, because I have 3 of them to use.
And you would assume that one of those, if they keep these 3 picks, that one of them is going to be a receiver. Probably the 48.
If they go guard, receiver, defensive tackle, I'm very happy.
That's why I tell you guys is you know what, we got to look at this as the full meal, not just they threw those escargot in your face and you never had them and they look like
they're so good,
little snot balls. They're good though.
And here's the thing
the
too.
bread in there.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember, someone just brought up in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, and it's good that you did because I wanted to get there. Lance is gone. Remember this, guys. The Lions no longer have a pick in the 3rd round. That was part of the Gibbs trade. That's you basically pick swapped your 3rd round into 34. That was part of the trade to move back to 12. Detroit does not have a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick. They need to hopefully trade back. I think that here's what I think the logic is with Brad Holmes in that move. Picture these as still like a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick, and a 4th round pick, but you get to do them all in the 2nd round.
At the same time, yeah. Absolutely.
I would guess that's kind of the thought process. I'd like to have a beer with them and talk through that, because he kind of created a way to do that.
I think he's more a bourbon guy.
He seems like a bourbon guy.
You'd be, even better.
Steve Reinert says, so you want to punt on defense. And you know what? I kind of pounded the table last night and said, you have to address the situation that happened. But you got the best defender, I was told, right? Right? Mark me here on this, guys.
He was arguably the best linebacker in the draft, yes.
So if you're including that, then you didn't punt on defense.
If you go Jack Campbell and grab a defensive tackle, whether it be Keanu Benton, Siaki Ika, Javon Dexter, whoever you're grabbing, that helps the run game a lot. Well, helps stop the run game a lot.
So, that's what it is. For me, if we can go guard and I can get one of those receivers, Jalen Hyatt really intrigues me.
I'd say.
Really intrigues me because, look, consider myself Hendon Hooker center. I don't buy it. I don't want a 38-year-old college graduate coming off an ACL unless you want to get a veteran presence for Jared Goff to learn from. Yeah, I'm joking. I don't believe in it. I'm intrigued by how much was it Hyatt. Like, obviously it was Hooker, but how much too was it Hyatt?
Yeah.
And that's fair to ask.
Take a lot of. I mean, Hooker, they're codependent. Obviously they both need each other, but Hyatt he's fast, man. He's so fast. Him and J-Mo comes back, that'd be scary.
And isn't that, especially like offense, like speed is one of their things that they seem to be collecting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Speed,
It is the speed guy. So
right.
You look at who's the guy, and obviously you have to look at replacing what Jameson Williams would have done in the first 6 games. Who a lot that goes into it. Who's the most ready, right? Who's the most NFL ready?
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Tally Irvin says Swift for a third. Guys,
not a chance.
He got picked. He's a second-round pick with limited production. Who's going to give you a third-round pick for that? For real. Who's in a walk year? Like, I know the salary's cheap and stuff. Like, let's get realistic about this, guys. I do appreciate you tapping into the show, though. It is. You're a valued member of the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. It's just on this one, we got to stop and think for a minute. Like, let's think linearly about it.
Get some help.
What do you guys think it would take to get Montez Sweat? That comes from Joey. DeAndre Swift, straight up?
I couldn't believe Washington's just like, yeah, we're not keeping either of them.
Isn't that
Sweat
wild?
and Chase Young. You guys can have them.
It is wild what Washington's doing. But it comes down to it, right?
Who'd they draft? Who did they pick yesterday?
Chase Young.
They drafted Emmanuel Forbes.
They drafted Emmanuel Forbes?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Emmanuel Forbes, but if you're getting rid of your 2 blue chip pass rushers, you might want to grab one in the first round.
So, yeah, man. I mean, it is, though. 3 picks. Keep in mind, there is no third. There is no fourth. So this is it, D-Mac. It's time to shine tonight.
But this is where Brad Holmes cooks. Now later in the draft, right?
Yep.
We were all worried about the first round and stuff like this. Let's just see how it plays out. Like I said, after this weekend, and even the 5th and 6th rounders, wait and see what happens. And when we look at all the players that he's acquired, so I believe tonight's even, you thinking about it, is it might be even bigger than last night. The way things played out.
Kevin Bell says, trade Swift for Neal's Iowa shirt. I'm going to need a little more. Maybe throw in a 7th. Maybe throw in to give me DeAndre Swift in the 7th, and I'll give you the Iowa Hawkeyes Verbo Citrus Bowl T-shirt.
Nice. I'm glad that's back.
Oh, Gus, man. I do love Gus. Not as much as I love Cintron. That is for sure. The official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings right now, an exclusive offer for Woodward sports fans. They'll give you the limited edition Red Wings 6-pack, $15, free shipping right to your door. If you haven't tried it before, give it a spin. When D-Mac's down at LCA or he's down at Keyworth Stadium taking in Detroit City FC, he pounds these things, man. He loves them. My son likes Cintron as well. I believe you will too. It's suitable for vegans. It's gluten-free, no preservatives, no aspartame, no added sugar, none of that crap, all right? Straight up energy drink, everybody. Tastes great. Great tasting crumberry, classic, or sugar-free. You get them all in the Red Wings themed 6-pack sampler box. $15, free shipping to your door. Go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward. One more time, drinkcintron.com/Woodward. Give it a spin. You like it? Go to Kroger, buy more. Buy it on Amazon, wherever you want to buy it. But if you try it, you'll like it. Darren McCarty does.
Drink it, live it, love it with Cintron.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. You're feeling tired, depressed, unmotivated, maybe some low sex drive, you got muscle loss, belly fat piling up, testosterone optimization therapy. It's safe and effective way to restore your vitality, your confidence, your performance, and even reduce your risk for heart disease. Visit CustomHealthCenters.com today. That's CustomHealthCenters.com. Or give them a call, 877-965-0910. Coming down the stretch here on a Friday. You know what? Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. If you're new to Woodward Sports, appreciate you tapping in. Go back and watch the highlights from the draft show on 5th Avenue, brought to you by Circa Sports last night. Those were some good times. A lot of fun was had out there. Over 40,000 of you have watched that, as a matter of fact. You know what I do feel, though, guys? I do feel a tingling down there.
You're getting bricked?
We're starting to get a little bricked up.
See?
You know what?
Hey, you know what? Sometimes the only way out is through. I like where your style's at, right? Getting ready for the second round.
You know that initial tingle?
Yeah, dude. It's almost like you had the shower beer. Right? You got, hey, it's Benny back on. Ooh, wow. I don't deserve to feel this good right now, but I do.
I wasn't planning on feeling this good right now.
I thought I'd have that headache all day, but ooh.
Getting a little bricked up.
What time does it start tonight? 7?
I believe 7 o'clock.
Better be locked in, getting ready.
Right after the heavyweights, we're going to do
I
a
read a
watch party
question
from here.
Oh, hold it. You're doing a live stream from here?
Yeah, we're going to live stream from here.
Okay.
The heavyweights are going to do it.
We calling it Bricked Up, NFL Draft Friday?
Bricked Up round 2.
Just
right on. Let's go. Tune in. Woodward Sports tonight, 7 o'clock.
Detroit Black in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I don't want to read this because I do want to take a look around the NFL. Can you guys promise me we'll do this fast? Thank you. Detroit Black says, I want Hendon Hooker at 34 for 2024 and 2025. I don't want to pay Goff. Okay, Detroit Black, so this is what you're telling me. 34, you take Hendon Hooker, and the keys to Aiden Hutchinson's rookie contract, Penei Sewell's rookie contract, Jameson Williams' rookie contract, which is unguaranteed, by the way. All these draft picks that you built, this foundation you built, you're telling me right now that in 2025, Hendon Hooker's taking that over. That's what you're telling me with that. Right? That's what he's saying. Am I missing anything?
Yeah,
That's the line in the sand with that.
No thanks.
For real, it's easy to say that.
Somebody said, "What's the one pick that would blow your mind or whatever if you took a quarterback at 34?"
I know
they're not the right guys.
I'll put it to you, Spenmo, and you know, man, I respect you, and you're consistent with what you say, and I respect your opinion. I do
appreciate that.
The Hendon Hooker thing. So you're prepared for that. You're going to draft him, and he's your guy. Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson, the window. That's how you're rolling.
I mean, if that's what they decide to do, that's what they decide to do.
You, Spenmo. Holmes.
I would not, no.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
You know, he was going to win the Heisman if he didn't get hurt. Like, no doubt. He was a lock.
That's fair.
But
that's fair. But you see, like when people make those statements, that's what you're saying. You know, like you can say it that way, but you're saying, okay, I don't want to pay Goff. Take Hendon Hooker at 34. Then Hendon Hooker steps in and assumes your window with Aiden Hutchinson, Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like we're speaking in absolutes here, guys. So remember that when we say that. So there it is.
Hey, so you mentioned the one thing about the draft or whatever. That remember how we said doing the NFL nickel package 5.5 over under wide receivers in the first round. It was 4, and they went back to back to back to back. Right? You see how that works out. So that's my question. Is there any receivers out there? Is there any receivers out there?
There's a few
that you still take a spin on.
Yes, there's quite a few. Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Hyatt. I expect them to end up with the receiver.
I do too, honestly.
I would, if out of any of the, right, you'd think that the 48th pick sort of has something written on it, or do you think that they want their guy, like they've proven that they'll go out and get their guy, so they don't care where they get him? It could be that receiver at 34 too.
Yeah, I do. I expect it. Real quick, just taking a look around, seeing how everything shook out around the NFL draft yesterday. You guys have any kind of thoughts? I mean, Houston pulled him out and put him on the table.
I feel much stronger now with my
worst to first Houston Texans.
Take. That was months ago too.
And what a flex too! Like the nut shot to the rest of the league. And I take it personally, no Lions, because it was Will Anderson. But hats off to you guys.
Yeah, I was surprised the Colts didn't take Will Levis. I thought he just looks like a Colt.
Nicholas Duncan, that's his first reaction. Says the Colts miffed it, and
I don't know if they miffed it.
They went all in.
Mm-hmm.
They went all in for the ceiling.
Listen, they've chosen who out of that game earlier last season between
Will Levis and Anthony Richardson,
right?
Who they thought was
better.
They're going, and this happened. So everybody when they played each other, those were the numbers.
33 beat the 2 point.
2.6 QBR is so gross.
How is that even possible?
How is that possible? He's got 14 completions.
Yeah, and 2 interceptions.
Like I'd be saying like 1 for 20 or like no, you got 14 completions, 140 some yards.
On 35,
how does that happen?
35 pass attempts to get 143 yards.
To get 2.9.
That's not good.
So the Colts are going with the ceiling. And it's, they play in a dome. So if he wants to skip the balls off the ceiling there, he can.
He can.
And he'll fit right in for it. What about you, Sam Flannel? Your mom's favorite skater says Seattle killed it. I knew they would. And that's...
Seattle always drafts well.
Damn Pete Carroll and them. Even when they suck, they're good.
Yeah. They always draft well every year.
And they got rid of Russell Wilson and the action figure hair and got mega compensated to do it and still made the playoffs. Damn them, man. They did. You're right. Sam Flannel, who did you like?
I mean, obviously the Philadelphia Eagles. I think if besides the Texans, maybe even above the Texans, they basically stole the night with their draft, getting Jalen Carter at 9 and Nolan Smith at, I believe, 30. Just supplementing a defense that already has Hassan Reddick and Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox and James Bradbury and Darius Slay, and just adding a couple of young guys. There were a couple, though, on the other side that kind of surprised me. What about Will McDonald to the Jets at 15?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That seemed reachy.
That seemed reachy, and I think Will McDonald is going to be a good player, but I thought it was a perfect spot to maybe take a Jackson Smith and Jigba, for example. And another thing I liked, and to the shock of absolutely no one, I liked Quentin Johnson at 21 to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that just adding another weapon, giving them Keenan Allen, an aging Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Quentin Johnson, I think that is going to be.
But are you concerned that your golden boy will be out of excuses when he goes 500 again?
I could see a Justin Herbert MVP season coming. Is what I could see.
That's actually wouldn't shock me at all.
Does he have to be above 500 again?
But will he win a playoff game?
He would have to be above 500.
Okay.
It's funny though that your boy Tua, what playoff game has he ever been in? Oh, that's right. He's not healthy. He's never actually played in one.
Right, but he actually wins games though.
I mean, Justin Herbert was in a playoff game. They blew the game, but he did lead them to 30 points. Just for the record, the defense had a lot to do with that choke
none
job.
when it mattered.
And that's fair. That is fair.
Another one that jumps out at me, because I'm always a big fan of this move. And like I said, the Lions, I looked at in a vacuum. We broke it down in 3 parts in the first hour. Subscribe to the podcast and go back, Big D Energy podcast. I like what the Cardinals did. They got their guy, and they got compensated to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm such a huge fan of that move. And whether you like it or not, they're married to Kyler Murray.
Absolutely.
And it's an arranged marriage.
Listen, and this is the first time, and maybe because Kingsbury's not there, and obviously they made the change, but we know for a fact that Paris Johnson was the guy that Kyler Murray came out screaming on the top of the castle from. But the fact that they got their guy, so he got his guy, and they're locked in with the money and stuff like this. The one thing that sort of got my attention too, and when it was going to go down, you look at how, like, teams that don't care, right, of how it's sort of supposed to be done. You look at Atlanta, right? What they do last year, they didn't care. Right up top 5, they take Kyle Pitts, right? Come back this year and go for Bijan. They're going for the shiny toys. They don't care how much money at where they're drafting them. They're trying to put pieces.
And you know
place.
what they're going to do? We gonna see about Desmond Ritter. They're putting it in stone this year. We're going to see about him.
Yeah.
And it's either yes or no. And if it's no, we move on.
Mm-hmm.
The show goes on.
What you talked about with what Arizona did, you trade back and still got your guy. It reminded me of what Boston did when the Celtics traded back from 1 and they still got Tatum.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to take Tatum anyways. And
Right.
Philly traded up to get Fultz.
Yeah.
And
we got paid to do it.
Yeah, when you can do something like that.
I'm such a big fan. Of that move. Just getting paid to do your thing. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Your mom's favorite skater. Packers took Luke Van Ness. Your thoughts, Neal? Good luck. Jordan Love, Luke Van Ness.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have at least taken the guy that was, a starter for Iowa.
They are really allergic to first-round drafting weapons because Jackson Smith and Jigba was right there.
Yeah, I really thought that was going to be the pick. I thought it was just going to be a FU Aaron Rodgers pick. Like, well, we'll finally draft a receiver in the first round now that you're gone.
You know another one that was kind of sneaky to me? How about Miles Murphy to the Bengals at 28?
That was nice.
That was nice, yeah.
And we always fall for that, right? The picks at the end because they're good teams already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So immediately right away we say, oh, that was really nice. And again, I'll go back to it too. The Eagles, Jalen Carter fell to the Eagles, man, and they pulled the trigger, and they're ready to roll. They are, and we'll be. No matter what side of the fence you're on, with everything, none of us cannot admit. We'll be watching.
And I'm just happy he didn't go to the Bears.
Yeah.
I'm really happy he didn't go to the Bears.
We'll be watching. There's no doubt about it. I'm watching where I should go for lunch today.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only a couple choices you can make if you need to go to lunch. And one of them is obviously Cousins Bay and Lobster, because Woodward Sports loves lobster, and what better way to get your fix than Cousins Bay and Lobster? With 2 food trucks rolling around the city, you can be sure to find the best lobster rolls, lobster tots, and lobster tacos to power through the day. Go to cousinsbayandlobster.com and find their schedule, or you can scan that QR code right there, order ahead, and earn rewards. Make sure you guys check out Cousins Maine Lobster.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real expert professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to give Guardian Alarm a call today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number today. 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Yes, real people, flesh and blood. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and Homo sapiens who have been proven to care. They care so much that no matter what happened last night, they weren't phased. They were still protecting the legend killer Sam Flannels. Flannel, how many straight days of flannel protection?
264.
264 days of flannel protection. What does that tell you? Anything personal, anything business, whatever is important to you, Guardian Alarm will protect it. But I need you to call the number today. Here it is, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the first round, Will Levis.
Stay out of the Lions draft thoughts, Michael Mayer and Sam Laporta. No tight ends, please.
Stay out of the Lions draft room today, any quarterback.
Absolutely. All of that, and Sam is a dick. Your local security experts tell him Guardian Alarm. We sent you. Too soon, Sam.
We were all thinking it. Come on, it's hilarious.
Neal brought it to fruition yesterday when I said, damn, Will Levis. He said, you see his girl? And I went, damn, Will Levis. He's all right.
That's why he had that look like he didn't care. Will Levis is fine,
That's
everybody.
gotta suck, though.
Yeah. Will Levis is fine.
That's gotta suck.
Real quick, too, since we talked about, the division with the Green Bay Packers, I did raise my eyebrow when the Vikings took Jordan Addison. And the reason I did is this foreshadowing? Because, obviously we know the clock is ticking on Kirk Cousins. Right. At any moment, they could pull the rug out from under that whole experiment. Justin Jefferson is now in an option year. They picked up his option. So, to me, does that maybe tell you that they're looking to, after this season is over, possibly tear that thing down in Minnesota and start to rebuild up with Addison on a rookie contract? At some point, they got to move on at quarterback. At some point, they have to. And Justin Jefferson, are you going to do that? Are you going to give him $30 million a year? Because it's going to be the number, everybody. That's going to be the number. Maybe does this tell you? Possibly not. I don't know.
Which is also goes into why taking the receiver Minnesota did, and Addison is a great receiver out of USC. So, yes, but the money makes sense if they do, if that's what they're looking to do to move on. Because you nailed it, Neal. You're gonna pay $30 million for arguably the best wide receiver in the league, but it's still $30 million. Paying him like a quarterback.
Nick L says Kirk is elite, Neal. Okay. So, I don't know. Is that something that they're looking to do? Is just kind of reboot everything, and maybe they can move on from Justin Jefferson. Maybe if they do decide that they're going to tear the thing down. Because remember, they were fool's gold last year. They were.
11-0 in one-score games. No team will ever do that again, I promise.
Yeah.
That's outer space.
Not a chance.
So, that's where it's at. Maybe you get Addison in there, because I know, he's not the over-the-top, jump over your head and get it, like Justin Jefferson is, that highlight reel
He's
stuff.
Very good compliment.
Very good compliment.
Because it makes sense. They lost Thielen, and he sort of is going to go into that Thielen role, wouldn't you expect?
And I like KJ Osborne, too. I think he's underrated. I'm pretty high on
Detroit's own.
Yeah, so you put those two on the outside, Osborne and Jefferson on the outside, and let Addison do what he wants.
Bring him home, right?
Bring him home. Bring him home.
Yeah, so we're at it, man. The tingling is back, and we're ready to rock.
What do you
tonight.
got? What do you got going this weekend?
Detroit City FC against the Tampa Bay Rowdies tomorrow, 4:00 TV 20 in Detroit, ESPN Plus as well. I'll be on the call for that match, so if you want to tap into that, tap in. You're going to be home anyway. It's going to be cold and rainy. So give it a watch if you would be so kind. Well, how about you, D-Mac? What you got popping?
I got tonight out in Whitmore Lake doing the slapstick comedy tour at Captain Joe's. So I will see everybody there, 8 o'clock start. And then I'm going to Florida. I'll be back Tuesday. So got stuff
pulling the Neal Ruhl,
to do
huh?
down there. Stuff to do down there. Got to go check in on Mama.
Good for you, D-Mac.
Yeah. Thank
Good
you.
for you. Get out of here.
I'll be sending you pictures from outside Hulk's house.
Speaking of pictures, let me know if you get any interesting autograph requests tonight at your comedy tour thing.
Do you think that I will? Or
I don't know. I'm just curious.
He's definitely planting the seed right now.
I know he is.
Just let me know.
There's always interesting. Always interesting, always original. As always, I will stay to the end, meet and greet, bring your stuff, chit chat, have a good time. I'm sure the cocktails will be flowing for those that partake, and just happy to be out about the people. This is my time to shine, Sam. When I say I'm a battery and the people are my power, we're going out to fill that battery tonight. Spenny, no fighting.
I'll try not to. No promises.
Who we taking 34?
Joey Porter Jr.
Neal?
Who do I want? Or who are they going to take?
Who we taking?
I'm taking Osiris Torrance.
I'm also taking Osiris Torrance.
All right.
Oh, I like the energy.
Dude, I'm not a Avila basher. I like Avila. Let's go. Offense. Anyways.
All right, everybody. Hey, appreciate y'all tapping in. Again, if you watch for the first time, thank you. We're here every day, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday. This is what we do. I believe we're the best in the game at it, so appreciate you, discovering us and giving us a shot. So for Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, get bricked up for the weekend, everybody.
Deuces.
Thanks for tapping into Big D Energy. Well, see you later.